Good morning to all the students of class plus 2C. We are going to continue the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. We have done first stanza only and second will be starting. Fine. So the basic introduction, you can shift here better if you want to. So first stanza, they have discussed about the various kinds of children, poor kids sitting in the elementary classroom. Fine. One girl, tall girl sitting with weighed down head. Why? Because she's underconfident. She's weighing her head down because of responsibilities. She's sad. Fine. And then another boy with just like a paper seeming boy. He's very thin. Malnutrition problem is there. He has not received proper nutrients. Fine. Another boy with rat's eyes. The same paper seeming boy is having rat like eyes because hunger is gleaming in his eyes. Then another one is person with stunted growth. Stunted is deformity is there because he has inherited diseases from his parents. Fine. So in the first stanza, poet has just discussed various kinds of kids sitting in the classroom and why because they are poor, hailing from bad background. That's why they are like that only. Now in second stanza, he is going to depict the condition of classroom only. Clear? So on sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome, riding all cities. Sour cream, beta. Here, sour here means dull. Cream, you know that, off-white, pale, dirty. In that sense, they have used. Clear? And then donations. Word meaning, beta, keep noting down. Donations are the things received in charity. Many people have donated. And whatever donations are there, one can see on the wall. Clear? Like Shakespeare's portrait is there, a world map is there, and rest of the things. Then we have cloudless at dawn. D-A-W-N. Early morning. Early morning period. Then after that, beta, next word is, they have written civilized dome riding all cities. Underline this. Civilized dome riding all cities. The sun is rising in semicircular shape. The sun is rising in semicircular shape. Likh lo, you will forget it. When you will revise, you won't be able to recall even what was there. So semicircular shape of the sun emerging out. Clear? Better than they have used Tyrolus Valley is a beautiful valley in Austria. Fine. Tyrolus Valley is a beautiful natural valley where beautiful flowers can be seen. It is situated in Austria. Then that picture is there. Fine. Then one open-handed map is there. So in the second stanza, poet Stephen Spander is telling us that various pictures, portraits, world map being hung on sour cream walls. Dull, pale walls are there. They are not even painted for many years. And first picture you can see is Shakespeare's portrait. And it is directly in contrast with the quality education. Shakespeare is known as a very good writer, one of the best writers of English, but anybody? 3 students are there. Okay, got it? So, clear? So I was telling you, Shakespeare is considered one of the best writers, and These children do not know who Shakespeare is. So that is directly in contrast. Second picture is cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities. Now, one picture, sun is emerging out of, fine, one can see the early morning period and sun is rising, and rising sun is associated with success. Fine, rising sun is associated, and early morning period is associated with beginning in one's life, but there is ending only. There is darkness prevailing in the lives of these children, these slum children. So these pictures are actually in contrast with the education which they are receiving. Clear? Next picture, beta, you can see is belled, flowery, tarless valley. So beautiful valley is there in Austria. That picture is also there. And they are far away from natural surroundings. They are confined in the four walls of the classroom. They are not having reach to go to such natural places. Clear? Then open-handed map, awarding the world its world. Very important line, underline. On this line, many a times you get a question also. What do you mean by this line? You know that when we see a map, map is the outline of the geographical areas. Fine, various places it is depicting. But the life of these slum children is confined to one place only. That is slum area. They cannot think beyond slum areas. They cannot think of going abroad. They cannot think of going and visiting various places and cities or towns even. Fine. So awarding the world its world, the only glance of outer world they can have is through that torn out map only. Clear? Otherwise, only window is there. That is the whole world for them. They can peep outside. They can have a look. Whatever is there, that is their world only. Clear? This line is clear to everyone. That torn out map is there. And that is the only possibility where they can find the options of the outer world. Otherwise, they are confined at one place. Yes, send me thumbs up. Those who are sitting at home, if it is clear to all of you. Fine, beta. So, and yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world. So they are saying for these children, this map is of no use. Though this map is depicting various geographical areas, but it is of no use to them because the only window is the only place where they can have a glance of the outer world. Clear? Where all their futures painted with a fog. Painted with fog. Now, when fog is there is no visibility. Clear? Now, here poet wants to say that their future is painted with fog. It's in darkness because they are stuck in slum. Nobody will help them to come out of slum area. They will keep on prevailing in the same situation every time. Clear? So that's why the future is painted with fog, which is not visible to anyone, unknown to us. Clear? Now, I would be telling you the poetic devices used in this stanza. We are doing it side by side, okay? First of all, beta, you might not have heard about this poetic device. Let me tell you. You can see. Assonance. Have you heard about it? This is one of the new devices. We have done it 1 or 2 times maybe. So assonance is used in this. Write down. Where they have used it in the third line. Belled, flowery, tireless valley. 4 words. Underline these 4 words. They can kindly bring your book, beta, from tomorrow onwards. Belled, flowery, tireless valley. Third line of second stanza. First 4 words you have to underline. What is an assonance, beta? When E sound is, or any vowel sound, A, E, I, O, U, vowels are there in English, that you know. When vowel sound is repeated again and again, then we call it assonance. You might have done alliteration, to sabne kara hai. Alliteration is repetition of consonant sounds. If I say beaded bubble, bubbling on the, in that way, B sound is repeated, that becomes alliteration. But when vowel sound is repeated, then we call it assonance. Clear? So here, belled, flowery, tireless, valley. This is the example of assonance. After that, beta, next page, page number 93. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. Underline the word lead sky. Dark. Lead means dark. Underline the phrase, a lead sky means dark future. When there are clouds on the, you can say, in the sky, nothing can be seen. Fine. Similarly, their future is under darkness only. Clear? A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, capes, and stars of words. Try to understand very carefully. Now, poet is saying, their lives are far away from natural surroundings. They cannot have a look on the rivers. They cannot reach the capes. What are capes, beta? Capes are, you can say it's a large piece of land which is joined with the coast of the sea. You go to seashore to visit and all, and that large piece of land is associated with the coast of the sea. So they cannot go there. They cannot look at the various rivers flowing. Fine. So they cannot have a look of rivers, capes, and these are only stars of words. Now underline stars of words. You might have heard that many stories. You can see the, you can have a look at the stars, but you cannot reach them. Fine. Similarly, they can have look at Tireless Valley. They can have a look at world map. They can have a look at the best writer. But these are the stars of words only, fake promises made to these slum children. Clear? So they cannot reach to such prominent places. They cannot enjoy in natural surroundings. They cannot receive quality education. These are just stars of words. The stars which they cannot touch, but they can have look only. Clear? So we have completed second stanza. We'll be doing third stanza now. Today you have test, beta. In that test, exactly at 2 p.m. I will be sharing chapter Indigo as well as an elementary school classroom in a slum. Jitna bhi ho jayega. Out of that only I would be sending questions to you. Clear? Objective test it will be, but in written form, not on Google form. Clear? I'll be giving the instructions in the group. Read it carefully and act accordingly. Then third stanza is, surely Shakespeare is wicked. Now write down the word meaning for third stanza. Yes, first word is wicked. V-I-C-K-E-D. It means evil. Next word is slyly. S-L-Y-L-Y. Slyly means very, in a very tricky way, you know, cunningly, smartly, trickily. T-R-I-C-K-I-L-Y. Trickily or cunningly. चालाकी से बहुत. Clear? Then we have another word, cramped. You must know the vocabulary of this poem, beta. I can ask you then later on. Cramped means confined. Limited area. The rats live in the cramped holes. Similarly, these slum children are also living in crammed holes, spaces. The next word is slag. S-L-A-G. Here in this context, it means worthless. That's it. These 4 words are there. Kindly note down the meaning and then I'll explain the stanza to you. Done, beta? Yes, Vaibhav, done. So, in third stanza, poet says, surely Shakespeare is wicked. Why wicked? Why evil? Because for children, Shakespeare is no one. They don't know who Shakespeare is. They cannot receive quality education. So it becomes wicked for him, for them, evil for them. The map is a bad example. The children who do not have access to outer world and they are having glance of maps in front of them, that is very bad example. Opposite, contrary, clear? With ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. And then there is picture of natural surroundings, starless valley, sun rising, big structures, domes and buildings. These pictures are being hung on the wall, but they do not have access to it. So that's why all of these are bad examples for these slum children. Clear? For lives that slowly turn in their cramped holes, from fog to endless night. So now they're saying their lives actually trickily and cunningly by government, by political authorities, they have, fixed this life for them. Bigger slums they are going to have rather than removing slum areas and providing them opportunities. Bigger slums they are creating, more and more slum areas being enhanced, and lack of opportunities, and they are living life like a rat, like a mouse in crammed hole. They do not have access to outer world. Means they are living in confined space only. Clear? From fog to endless night. I told you already the future is painted with fog. Already it is not visible. Visibility is not there that where their future is going. From fog to endless night, and there is no scope also that there will be improvement. Clear? Their life will be changed into endless night. Darkness will be prevailing for years to come also. On their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones. Underline this. Very important again. Slag heap. Slag here means worthless. Heap, you know that piles, jo dher hote hai. They have also compared the body of a stunted growth or such poor children with slag heap, ek koode ka dher hota hai jaise. That they are worthless in this society. These children, they are so thin that their skin is, you can say their bones are visible through their skin. Clear? They are facing the problem of malnutrition. They are not getting proper basic food, that even bones are peeping out of their skin. We are able to see the bones of their body. Clear? And spectacles of steel with mended glass. They are wearing, few of them are wearing very heavy spectacles, and you can see the crashes on it easily. They do not have money enough to mend it or to buy a new spectacle. Like bottle bits on stones. Underline this line. This is one poetic device also. I will be discussing poetic device when I end this stanza. Like bottle bits on stones. So children are wearing spectacles with mended glass. Mended is repaired. Clear? Just like when we break a bottle, we throw a bottle on a stone, we can see thousands of scratches on it. Similarly, children, those who are wearing spectacles, scratches can be seen, and they are wearing same spectacles, though the visibility is not there, even then they are wearing it. That shows their poverty. Clear that how poor they are. Next, beta, all of their time and space are foggy slum. They say their whole life is foggy, fine, in darkness. Even the future is uncertain for them. So they have taken birth in slum. They are living in slum. They will be leading lives in slum. There is no option for them. So blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Doom is the, you can say you might have read this word in your economics. Concept of boom and doom. Have you heard? Boom and doom. It's opposite of that only. When there is flare up in the economy is rising, developing, then we say it is boom. When it is the downfall, then we call it doom. Boon and bane, that is something else. Boon is a blessing. Bane is a curse. That is terminology, different terminology. I'm talking about boom and doom. That is terms of economics only. Yeah, being commerce students, you must know. So when there is development, that is boom. When there is downfall, that is doom. Clear? So they're saying that blot their maps. Blot is better that spot, that permanent spot which is not able to, which cannot be removed. So slum area is like a blot on their lives which cannot be removed. That is a permanent stain. Clear? Permanent stain on their lives that they have to live in the slum area only, and government is not helping them out. So is it clear to all of you? Third stanza? Yes. Those who are there, kindly send me thumbs up. Wattle bits on stones. Yes, Sukmanjot. Wattle bits on stones, beta. I'll be just telling you the literary devices used here. But here it means they are saying that children are wearing mended glasses. They do not have money to purchase new glasses. Even their spectacles are broken. Thousands of, hundreds of scratches could be seen. But even then they are wearing mended glasses, just like they have compared what sort of spectacles they are wearing. Just like a bottle is broken, fine, and it is made up of glass, and there are many scratches in that bottle. Similarly, that sort of spectacle they are wearing. So they have just made comparison. Is it clear to you, Sukman? So I'll be telling you the poetic devices used in third stanza. Kindly note down, beta. First one is metaphor. In the third stanza, I'm going to tell you now. Firstly, metaphor is used. What is a metaphor? When direct comparison is made. Clear? When direct comparison is made, then we call it metaphor. Paper swimming boys in the first or second stanza. We are doing third. Tell me the third stanza. In third stanza, cramped holes. Underline, cramped holes. Because directly they are calling their homes as holes only. Cramped hole doesn't mean holes only. Here they are saying the places these children are living. Clear? Second is simile. One more metaphor is there, beta. That is in next stanza. You can leave it. So simile is there. That is very easy. You can tell me. Simile is when comparison is made, but by using the word like or as. Where we have used it? देखिए book में अनुष्का जल्दी से सृष्टि. Like bottle bits on stone. Yes. Well done. Sukman has also given the answer. Chandan is giving answer here. Like bottle bits on stones. Underline. This is the example of simile. Then beta we have alliteration also in the same stanza. Alliteration, repetition of consonant sounds. Where is it? Can you tell me, anyone? जल्दी से। Bottle bits, yes, we can say that, right? One more is there. Surely Shakespeare, yes, that can also be considered. And from fog. So three places where they have used alliteration: surely Shakespeare, from fog, bottle bits. Clear? Then beta, that's it. These are the poetic devices used in the third stanza. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. You also, you all clear? And these students, beta, tell me if any doubt is there. Send me thumbs up. Nice, Sukhman. This is not alliteration for lives. No. When one consonant sound will be repeated, then only. Okay.